Okay. Whoop, whoop. Well, happy Monday, everybody. It is the first week of the month, or not. It's actually the second. But since this is like the first like official one, because close of business hadn't quite wrapped up yet, or was just wrapped up last, right?
This is the first one since we got our paychecks. Let's just say it
There
like
we
it
go.
is.
That's what it is. And I am a total hot mess tonight. I was telling them earlier, I have had a mom day from, one for the record books, but I showed up. So that's what I'm celebrating tonight. And if I don't have all my words together, whatever, you guys know that I love you and I love this team and this product.
Yes, it's all good, Kimberly.
That's right. So
I'm showing up in the middle of football games, and just got to show up.
That's right. And I showed up for some of my customers today and it felt awesome, even in the middle of chaos. So this is just such a doable business, you guys.
And I can eat my lunch.
Love it. So we do want to celebrate whatever date it is. I lost track of the calendar. I know it's celebration night. So I'm going to turn it over to my mom because we are going to celebrate all of our awesome top rock stars for the month that have had more than 5 new personal customers. And I love that we get to celebrate this every month because having 5 customers a month is such a doable goal. And we want to celebrate you guys. And I know some of you even blow past the 5. So rock stars. Okay, over to you, Mom.
Okay, celebration. All right, we have 5 rock stars from last month. And Beka Thorpe, you take the crown with 9 new personal.
Hey, girl. I was trying to think of how many I had last month.
Woo, woo.
My records are correct. 9 new PC orders. Rosa, how do you say her last name?
Yeah, Ada.
Okay.
Our Puerto Rican rock star.
Yes, that I can never remember her name. Anyway, bless her. She had 7 new orders. Andrea Dunning, there you are, girl. She had 6. Oh, wow. So awesome. And Mary Green and Rebecca Hamilton both had 5 new customer orders last month. And that is just awesome. So we celebrate all of them. And
woohoo! Way to go, ladies!
So it can happen. There are people doing it.
Whoop, whoop. Way to go, Mary Green. I know that was her sharing the cart.
Yes.
That's so awesome. And Rebecca Hamilton, our queen of consistency. That's awesome. Way to go, ladies. All right. Well, does anybody have a win they want to share from either last month, whether you had a awesome paycheck or you had a new customer you want to celebrate, or you have a story of a customer you want to celebrate?
Can I celebrate a team member?
Of course.
I just want to shout out to Marianne Wurtenberger. She is just coming back in action and setting up Project Broadcast and just coming in on fire to say, where are we at? What's going on? Let's get it together. And we've been having a good time, and she's going to do a coaching call with Rebecca and me next week. And it's just great to have Marianne just saying, all right, girls, snap, let's go. I'm ready to get back at it.
Awesome.
I love that, Andrea. I'm going to celebrate some of my team too. I have so many team members that they are just really like their creative juices are going, and they're getting orders from places that in the past they've been nervous to even talk to people but it's just all like their creative juices are just flowing about how, like, for instance, Brooke Rye, she over Easter, her employer reached out to her. Now, like, talk about some energy shift, right? Because before she was like, I don't know that I can talk to my patients about it. But her employer came to her and was like, hey, I want to like incorporate this in to our therapy. She's an occupational therapist. And so last week or whenever around Easter, she was like, well, how about I do like an Easter egg hunt with the kids? Because she does pediatric, and I'll put gummies in there, and then they can try the gummies because she does a lot of, like with textures and stuff like that. And she got an order from a patient like yesterday because of that, like just those creative things that are like flowing in people's heads. So I'm so excited about that. And I'm going to celebrate because my paycheck went up, y'all, and I'm excited about it. 8 years in, paycheck's still going up.
Oh yeah, my paycheck went up too.
I'm sure it did.
Woo-woo!
Awesome. Audrey, you got a win to celebrate?
Yes. Yes, I'm trying to stay up here in the hot tub and not fall into it. I hired a house cleaner that I've always wanted to do with my paycheck. So I finally got her scheduled. She's a fellow twin mom in our local area. My paycheck went up also. So that's a huge win from last month. And what else? There's another one that I just can't, when it comes back to me, I'll come back. But yes, definitely high wins today.
That's awesome, girl.
I rolled the ball to Wendy. I know she got wins.
Well, and I just saw Rebecca Hamilton jump on. She wasn't on earlier when we celebrated her. So way to go, Rebecca, for having 5 new customers last month.
Woohoo, girl!
Something about these Rebeccas, I tell ya. Everyone needs a Rebecca on their team, I think.
Is it crazy? I didn't even know that. That's awesome. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Oh, I think you're muted. We didn't hear that last part.
Oh, I'm super excited. I didn't even realize that I had 5 new customers. I knew and a couple of them were leads. So those are a huge blessing. I'm really,
yeah. This is what, like, how many months have you been getting leads?
I think I've had at least 2 every month since being promoted. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I totally miss those leads. Like once you become an NMD, I think they give you for like a year after NMD and then they go away, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss those leads. Isn't it so fun to like see your email and be like, oh, that was easy because I fast track to SC or whatever, that's so.
Yep.
And there goes Rebecca. Oh no, I thought we lost you. Oh, okay. You're still on. Rebecca Downing?
Which Rebecca? I was going to say,
no, I thought we
Rebecca?
lost you because I looked up and your picture disappeared, but I guess it just like moved. So anyway, that's funny.
I'm here.
Awesome.
Awesome. Oh, I love it.
Wendy, we recognize you for showing up. Way to go.
Yep.
Susie.
And
I see
Andrea, I we're meeting with Marianne, this week. So hopefully, she's like next week. We're meeting with her this week because she is on fire. She's excited.
Very good.
I actually knew that. Yeah, I actually wrote it, set an alarm, but in my mind I went to next week. But yes, it is this week, Wednesday, 3:30.
That's awesome.
We'll all be there. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little hint for those of you that are on this call and you showed up tonight. You get inside information because we are not going to put this out anywhere. Rebecca and I are going to keep this secret for those of you that are on this call right now, or for those of you that watch the recording. We are going to do something really awesome next week on the call for those of you that show up. So you heard it here. Better mark your calendars and show up for the team call next week because we got something really awesome for you guys. Woo! Don't we, Rebecca? We got tricks up our sleeves. And we aren't apologizing. We do want you to be on the call next week. That's why we're putting this bait out there. Just so you know. Oh, awesome. Okay. Did we get everybody who wanted to share a win? because I'm really excited about what's next. So I'm ready to jump
Can I-
into it. Oh yeah, go
Can
ahead.
I,
Go for it, Andrew.
one more really quickly. I have a Paint the Vision call scheduled with Kimberly Warlow and a QSC in my downline, who's one of my best friends from forever. So I'm super excited about that call. And she scheduled it. And because I suggested it, I said, I think it'd be a really cool idea for us to get on a Paint the Vision call. She said, yeah, let's go for it.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad you solved that mystery for me because I was about to search her in because I didn't recognize the name. So that was great. That's your girl. Okay, awesome. I was going to search her in the virtual office. Very cool.
Wendy posted in the chat.
Yes, I saw that. Awesome. Well, enjoy your dinner and congrats on those orders, Wendy. Okay, so for those of you that don't remember this, when we originally started our teams, Mom named her team Passion and I named my team Energy because we believed that those are two of the most foundational things that you need to build this business and have fun anyways, for sure. Build the business the easy way, the irresistible way, the contagious way. You know, when you have passion and energy, you affect people, you impact people. And sometimes, passion comes first though. That's the thing I wanted to recognize my mom and thank her for that, because her passion for the product, her passion for the company, the business, this opportunity, her passion for you guys, how much she prays for you guys, like her passion is like at the core of this team. And that gives all of us so much energy. The energy always follows the passion. And sometimes when we're lacking a little energy in our business, we have to get back to the passion. It's like a fire, you know, it can kind of just like be ravishing. I don't know what do you call a crazy fire? There's a word for it. But
Raging.
Raging. Yes, raging. That was
Raging.
so close. Words, Kimberly, words. Okay, a raging fire, or it can be like a little tiny spark. And what do? You got to stoke it, right? And there's two things in our business that we do to stoke that fire or stoke that passion. Number one is being around other people that are passionate. That's why we do events. That's why we do the team call. That's why we do, even hearing our voices on Voxer sometimes, doesn't that give you a lift? Like, doesn't that just, you hear something that just reminds you of why we do what we do. So that's the first thing, is being around other passionate people. It really is contagious. And number two is hearing stories that build your belief. So tonight, what we have for you is a very special treat for building your passion and stoking that fire. It will do both for you because she has a very powerful story that will build your belief. And she is absolutely one of the most passionate and contagious people on our team. It's our fearless leader, Beka Thorpe. So everybody give it up to Beka. And we're going to turn it over to her for a massive pep talk.
Hey y'all. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to be alive. I've been telling people all day. I mean, I tell people this all day, every day. I'm like, I'm just thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be breathing right now. So everything else, like, come what may. You like, come at me, bro. I say that very often. Come at me, bro. But so I'm going to start out with my story and then just share why I'm still, on top of my story, share with you why I'm still so passionate about this business and this company and this, about it all. So most of you on here have been around for a minute. You probably heard my story. For those of you who are watching and haven't, this is for you. And for those of you who are here live and you've heard it, but sometimes, like Kimberly said, sometimes that passion just needs to be kind of stoked. Here we go. All right. So for me, when I first heard about this product, I was very, very, very sick. I was very sick. Like, I couldn't get sicker at that point. Like, when I first heard about it, I was like, can this make me any sicker? If it can, I can't do it. I had been diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disorder that ended up causing me to have 2 massive strokes at the age of 22. And I'd had open heart surgery. You can still see my scar a little bit. The filter on here kind of disguises it. I'm like, I want to show it. But I also refer to it as my cleavage extender sometimes, just for kicks and giggles, because you got to laugh or you're going to cry sometimes, right? And then I almost died from a severe lung and liver infection along this timeline, right? So when I first heard about Juice Plus, I was like, it made immediate sense to me because I had been researching about what I needed to do to help my body heal. And everything I was finding was more fruits and vegetables. And I was like, that's awesome, except I hate them. Like I was like excited that there was hope, but I was like, but I hate them. Strawberries or peaches or, an apple here or there, canned green beans and canned corn was pretty much my extent of vegetables. Maybe a iceberg lettuce salad from time to time. So when Juice Plus came into the picture, I was like, done, son, here's my card. How do I get it? And so I get my order, and I was at the point, y'all, where I couldn't hardly get out of bed. When I first started it, I was 22 when I started it. I couldn't hardly get out of bed, and I was taking well over 100 pills a week of different medications. I was very, very sick. And so when this came around, I was like, yeah. And so at first, I totally thought it was a placebo effect. I was totally just messing with my head because like my first night that I took my half serving, because we didn't want to like shock my system because of how sick I was and how lacking of nutrients that I was having. Previously, I was like, I have a little bit of energy. Like, that's nice. But I totally thought I was like psyching myself out, right? Until I started, because at that point I was getting blood work drawn every other week. Yeah, like people sometimes complain about getting like blood work done every 6 months. I'm like, y'all, shove it. So I was getting my blood drawn every other week, and my blood work kept on coming back better. And I was like, wait a minute, because I had been on medication for a good while by that point. So I knew it wasn't just the medication like kicking in. People like, well, what, no, it was what I was doing for my body instead of to my body. Like we say Juice Plus does. We say that it does things for our body instead of to our bodies. And so that was amazing. Now, 3.5 months into being on the product, I had the stroke still. I had the open heart surgery 3 months after that, so saying that doesn't say that like this is a magic pill and you take it and you're never going to get sick again. That's not, we can never claim that. But what I will say is that I recovered so much better and so much quicker than doctors ever expected. Like ever. I was driving back to Nashville 9 weeks post-op by myself. And I was told by my physical therapist that it would be at the very minimum 10 weeks, probably more like 12 weeks before I could move back to Nashville, because I had to move back to Illinois during recovery from all of that. And so all of that being said, I had all this health stuff. A year later, I had the lung and liver infection, but like when I was in the ICU, which I've shared with y'all, like all that happened in that ICU. But one of the things I kept on asking, like, can I take my capsules now? Can I have my capsules now? They're like, no, you can't have any water. And then first thing I asked for when I was allowed to have water, I was like, give me my capsules. Like I told Andrew, I was like, give me my capsules right now. And so I know that having that foundation, because I had been on Juice Plus for over a year at that point. So I know having that foundation in my body helped me to stay alive, one, but also helped me recover way better than doctors ever expected, because they told me, they're like, people don't recover like you recovered, so between a lot of prayer and a lot of fruits and vegetables, I like completely recovered according to the doctors. So like they said that there's normally like residual pneummonia in your lungs after that, and I didn't have any. So forever grateful for that. And then the business came into my life like 8 months into being on the product. And that made sense to me because I couldn't shut up about it. Like I was just telling everyone, like, you need this, like, and just throwing my orders to somebody else, so that came into my life, and I at first just wanted to pay for my product, and I did that super quickly. And then I wanted to be able to pay for my husband's, because he wasn't on it yet, and he still was calling it snake oil, even though he was talking to the doctors about it behind my back. Because they're like, how is our blood work getting so much better? And he's like, well, have you heard of this Juice Plus stuff? And even when doctors were like kind of poo-poo on it, he's like, oh, well, your university did a study on it, so you should look into that, because they didn't know what they didn't know, right? So anyway, the business totally changed my life too. I was, at the time I was working part-time, when I first started, but then I ended up going to a full-time, very toxic environment job, emotionally toxic, but also environmentally toxic. My boss would come into my office smoking, and he was the owner. So it's like, I mean, he had been fined from the health department already, but he was just like, whatever. He's like, I'll pay the fine. And so I was bound and determined that I was going to build my business to the point where I could walk away from that job and not be lacking, and so actually, one of my biggest turning points, and this may resound with some of you guys, is when I got back from my father-in-law's funeral, and my boss looked at me. He said, you should have been here. I'm like, what? Like, my husband's dad just suddenly died, and you're yelling at me, telling me I should have been in the office. And so that put a fire under my butt. I was like, I'm never going to let myself be in this situation again. And then almost 3 years ago, I got a call saying that my grandma had a massive heart attack, and she coded for 42 minutes. And because I had built this business, I was able to pick up and go and stay with her at the hospital, like sleeping on the waiting room floor at the ICU, so I could be there for her. Because my parents were living in Africa at the time, and my mom was trying to get back, but short term, quick trips back from Africa aren't as easy as like driving up from Tennessee. And so that even like stoked me even more, because I knew when that happened with my father-in-law, I knew I never wanted to have myself in that situation again, where I didn't feel like I could go and do what I needed to do or felt called to do or whatever. And so then when that happened with my grandma, I was like, I'm so glad that I like strapped up my boots and, got on that horse and started riding. And, because we never say that this doesn't take work, but it's fun work most of the time. Let's be real. So all of that being said, now I am like, my schedule is free as a bird, which I'm so grateful for. And I am no longer on those medications, and I've been off of all of them for almost 6 years, guys, almost 6 years. And next month will mark 6 years. Doctor said I would be on those medications for the rest of my life. Thanks for that. I love the dancing. I love it. I dance sometimes randomly in grocery stores and embarrass my husband, but it's fine. It's fine. Cause like I said, I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be alive. So I wrote down a few things besides all of that, because like sometimes I can lose that. I try to always remember like to be grateful every day. And I thank the Lord every day for my life, that I'm still here, that I'm living a vibrant life. But sometimes in this business, we can kind of lose focus and kind of just forget about what we have. People, I mean, I feel like that's in any area of life, but we're talking about here right now. So I wrote down a few things, front, back. So I'm going to try to go through them really quickly, guys, really quickly. So one of the things that I so appreciate about this business is that it is not only stable, but it's lasting. This company has been around for over 50 years. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And that was a vision of our founder, right? Is to like build a stable and lasting business that, would go on for generations. Our products literally, not just like imaginary, literally help to change people's lives, not just how they look, but blood work. Like I just said, like my blood work physically changed, and recovery from things. So if people are recovering from things, they can still take Juice Plus. Like I get questions all the time, like, well, I'm recovering from this, or like I'm on this medication. I'm like, yeah, I was on that. I took it, help me recover. It helped it to work better even. We are expanding daily, guys. Like, I feel like that's very literal right now, because we're like expanding in the next just few years to at least 100 countries. And y'all, this gets me really excited. Our company in the last year, pretty much every year, if not every month, if not every month, had our biggest month to date. Broke records pretty much every month. So you can't tell me people aren't they're out there looking for what we have, because they are. Even, and like, I love what Rebecca said about the leads, because I get leads every month too, because people are looking for what we have, and they're literally Googling like how to get more fruits and vegetables, and Juice Plus pops up, and then they put their order into the company, and the company sends it to us. And that speaks volumes about our company too, that they're not just keeping the customer for themselves, because there are companies that do that. So people are out there looking for what we have, and they're wanting it. It's not like we're just like having to force it on them. They're like, yeah, give it to me. Like I'm excited to get people like me that literally throw their card at me and be like, yeah, how do I get it? Which, I mean, I've had that pretty much happen before, and I'm looking forward to it happening more and more again. One thing that I wrote down here too is our product line is small, but it can help with a wide array of issues. If you think about that, it's like we don't have to come up with like, oh, well, this helps with this and that. You're like, that's too much brain space for me, y'all. That's too much. I love that we have a simple solution for people that be like, yeah, you can't go wrong with the trio. Like you just can't go wrong with that. And that just makes it even more simple, and something that people can grasp as they're coming into this business too. Right. So especially right now, people more than ever probably are looking for a side hustle, or even there's a lot of people that just straight up have lost their jobs and they're looking to replace that income. And we have that opportunity to share both of those with people, guys. We have an opportunity. If they're wanting to earn like $500 extra a month, great. We'll help you. We'll help you get there. If people are needing to replace their income, great, we'll help you. Like I completely replaced and exceeded my full-time job income. I know my cousin Tara, that was her goal. She wanted to replace her income, and she did it in like 9 months or something like that, with having a newborn, like completely replaced it. And she's still, and it's gone beyond that now. I am really excited because, y'all, could you tell that I'm excited? I've said it like 50 million times, but it's true. I'm really excited about going to the top. And I've been in this business. At the end of this month will mark 8 years, and that I can still be excited about getting to NMD, getting those benefits, getting, everything that comes with it, helping the amount of people that we're going to help to get there. That freaking gets me fired up, because I know there's more people like me out there. I know that there are. And I also know that there's people that their kids aren't pooping and they need the gummies to help their kids, like whatever it is, we have solutions for people, right? Along with going to the, whatever level you're going for, the requirements have been simplified. And that's really exciting as well. One of the things that I really appreciate about this business too is that you can be you. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be Kimberly. You don't have to be Rebecca. You don't have to be Chris. You don't have to be whoever. You get to be who you are. And you're going to attract the people that are your tribe, to bring into this bigger tribe. And that is so freeing to me, because so much of the time I feel like we even not intentionally will compare ourselves with other people. Like, well, I can't be like them, so I can't be successful. It's like, that's a bunch of crap, a bunch of stinking thinking. It's got to go. It's got to go, because you were wonderfully made, and God created you to be who you are. And so you go and be that and watch what happens. Because if you're trying to be somebody else, that's not going to, people are going to know that you're not being yourself. When I tried that, people were like, they're like, we don't want to get anything from you, so that is such a blessing. Not only that, but we have so many tools and resources now, y'all, more than ever before. I know Audrey and I are going to be working on doing a Project Broadcast Messenger party which y'all like that just blows my mind that we have that as an option now, that we can invite people to share a number with their friends and text a keyword, and then everything will just go automatically. And then we just get to follow up. It's like, it's just the easy button is just getting simpler, and it's just get easier and easier and easier. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap up with this. There's a couple things. Juice Plus Live is this weekend. That is a huge tool, guys. That is a huge tool, especially since it's virtual now. And this time it's free. I think you can still register. You just can't, you won't get the freebie box, like the goodie box. I'm pretty sure you can still register though. But even for prospects who may not even have any interest, they say, in the business, Thursday night, it's going to be on the Juice Plus, like on the, on Facebook Live on the Juice Plus website or on the Facebook. And so you can invite people to watch that. And Jamie freaking Kinsey is going to be speaking, and Mitra Ray. Like, you can't really get much better than that for inspirational and educational, right? So I know I personally, me and a sideline buddy here, we are hosting a protein ball party that night. And then we're inviting people to stay afterwards to listen. So if that's something you feel comfortable with, you do that yourself, or do whatever you do, you boo. Or if you just want to invite people to hop on and like remember to follow up and all of that. So I'm also going to be inviting people over. I've already sent the link for people to register for Friday and Saturday as well. Because there's been people that have been talking to me about the business. They've been really intrigued. They've been like, well, I think this is what I'm going to do. This, especially for those people, this is the perfect opportunity to expose them to what we are and who we are. And then whenever we do something this summer as our team, putting the hook out there, invite them to that too. So anyway, y'all, I know I went over my time, and I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry, because I'm just so freaking excited about our future. I'm excited about where we've come from and our past, that we have such a solid foundation. And I'm so freaking excited about our future, because our future is so bright and so exciting. I know I went to Arrington Vineyards. We did a JP hangout down here a couple weekends ago. And I was talking with Sharon Rankin, who was on our call a couple weeks ago. And she was like, Beka, she's like, there have been some really intense conversations with the Founders Club people, because they're like, we're making changes. Things are moving and shaking. And it's so exciting. She's like, we are like, the future is amazing. And we have the freaking honeypot, guys. I know Kimberly says that all the time, but it's true. She says it because it's true. Because we do, because we have what people are looking for. We have what people are wanting, in so many ways. So that being said, go be brave, because we have this awesome safety net of this team. And just go do it. Freaking do it. So that's my pep talk, guys. We got this. We have an awesome team. We have one of the best teams in the companies, y'all. And that's becoming more and more evident every day. So I love you guys so much. And I'm so excited to celebrate your wins and your promotions, and see all of you at the spa in St. Louis, because we're all going to do this freaking thing. Right. And because y'all, girl needs a facial, girl needs a facial. And I can pay for my own facial, but I want Rebecca to pay for it. So I think we need to have a chant like we had with a Make J Pay. We need to get something like Make K Pay. I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys, and I can't wait to celebrate you.
Hey, I was just getting yelled at by some kids, I think, for not having a mask on in the school. Anyways, whatever. Like middle school kids trying to yell at an adult. No, that's not your place. Anyways, that was so awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the first time I met Becca, I don't know if it was the first time we met, but when we had a conversation at conference, I think it was the first time we met, but I just have always been so attracted to your energy and your feistiness, and your story is so amazing. And like you said right at the beginning, this this changes lives, right? It's not just something, it actually changes lives, both for your health and long-term finances. And so I'm just I got fired up listening to you, and I am standing outside and freezing my butt off, and I'm like fired up from hearing Becca. So thank you so much for sharing your heart. I've missed just hearing from you and just that energy. I mean, can you guys feel her energy? Can you feel her passion for what we have here? And you guys,
we get to do, y'all. We get to do this. We don't have to, but we get to. And that, I'm so excited.
Absolutely. That is so true. We have the choice, and we're excited to do this. And the next 6 months are going to just be amazing. And I was looking at the Four Seasons Spa in St. Louis, and so I wrote down some of the options, and yeah. So all I have to say is I will pay for a facial or a massage or whatever you want, because all of our paychecks are going to be going up over the next 6 months, and it's going to be so worth it. We're going to save that business incentive bonus and store that away for all of you that want to take this ride with us. So we're super, super excited. So thank you so much, Becca. We're gonna now dance our little butts off to